I'm sure everybody has heard of Mardi Gras, and if you haven't heard of Mardi Gras, I can guarantee you've seen something that actually shows what Mardi Gras is. You just might have not known it. Mardi Gras was established in the 1700s by the Romans, and it was a celebration for them. I'm going to tell you some interesting facts and history on Mardi Gras, along with the traditions of the Mardi Gras masks. Mardi Gras was established by a Frenchman named Jean-Baptiste. He bought a plot of land in 1699 on the mouth of the Mississippi, close to Louisiana. He named that plot of land Pointe du Mardi Gras. He also established Fort Louis de la Louisiane. In 1702, Fort Louis celebrated the first Mardi Gras because of their new land and home. Baptiste kept establishing new cities in Louisiana. Different ideas for Mardi Gras came about from these people. In the 1730s, Mardi Gras was celebrated openly in New Orleans. These celebrations weren't as elaborate as current ones, but it still represented the craziness of the celebrations. This is what the people looked like back then, and it's obviously definitely changed. There were no parades up until about the early 1800s, and this was one of the first floats. A group of businessmen came up with the Rex, which is a big parade in the main part of Mardi Gras. In 1872, they announced the colors of Mardi Gras, which were purple, green, and gold. Purple represented justice, green symbolizes faith, and gold represents power. They also announced the song and the flag for Mardi Gras. In 1873, Governor Warmoth signed the Mardi Gras Act to actually make Mardi Gras a national holiday in Louisiana. All of this info was found on historyofmardigras.com. Traditions of Mardi Gras are very interesting, from the beads, the parades, and the masks. This is a representation of the masks. This is a representation of the beads with the actual colors, gold, purple, and green. And this is a representation of the floats. Other parties and festivities go on whenever Mardi Gras happens. The tradition of throwing beads dates back to the late 1800s. It represents colors and tries to involve the crowd with the beads. This also came the tradition of women actually baring their breasts to receive the beads, which is a very known activity in the French quarters. It does not actually happen on the main parade strip of Bourbon Street. Parades and crews are also a big deal. The floats in the parades are extravagant, not like normal parades. You can see on this one that they have big masks, they have the colors of the parade, they have a bunch of crazy just clowns dancing around. It's way different than just normal parades that you would see in like New York City. This was to help inspire the craziness and happiness through the floats. Crews are people that choose to be a big group that represents Mardi Gras and puts together the parades. They normally have their logos all over the floats. This one has a logo of a big snake, so I'm sure the crew maybe has something to do with snakes or something. They are kind of like sororities and frats when it comes to representing something and putting their names all over something. A lot of the floats in the 1800s were pulled by horses or people also. You can't really see this picture that great, but there are floats, and they're pulling them with horses, and there's people walking next to them. When they didn't ride on the floats, people rode in chariots or just on horseback. The other people, like jesters and clowns and people that were interacting with the crowd, they walked on foot. Traditions of the masks is what I find very, very interesting. Some of the masks cover the whole face, and some of them cover just the eyes. This came from the masquerade balls from different eras. This was to establish a mysterious and fun celebration to represent yourself as a different person, so people could have fun and enjoy themselves and nobody would be able to judge them. Kings and queens did this back in different eras so that they could go out to the ball and not have people harass them, so that they could have fun themselves. These days, actors and actresses also do this. They'll go to Louisiana or to another big city that celebrates Mardi Gras for their parade. They'll put on a mask, They'll make big, just costumes, and they'll go out into the streets and mingle with all the people, and nobody ever knows that they're actually famous because they're hidden. If you didn't know any of these facts before, I hope you found them very interesting. Mardi Gras is also known as Fat Tuesday, and it's still a very big celebration that a lot of people celebrate, not just in Louisiana. You can go to New York, you can go to just big cities that are known to have big parades, and they do celebrate Mardi Gras. You can go to bars, you can go to clubs whenever Mardi Gras is being celebrated, and they also celebrate them. If you found the facts compelling and want to know more, there's a website called MardiGrasDay.com where you can find other facts and history. But you can also find on the website when the festivities are held. And when the end of February and the beginning of March comes around, maybe you can find yourself celebrating in Louisiana with the rest of the people for Mardi Gras.